Hi, Tormod here, and today I would like to talk a little bit about this. Some of you might recognize what this is. This is a Superdera shot. A Superdera shot. A type of antipsychotica that I am taking every third week. Shot to my buttocks. And I need that antipsychotica to have a good life, to have a stable and life and presence. Then I need my shot, my medication, my antipsychotic every so often. I had to drive myself to the very, very rock bottom of my existence to realize that. I drove myself beyond with addictions and suffering and war against myself. I drove myself beyond in addictions and suffering and war against myself as a suffering schizophrenic. As I was born schizophrenic and diagnosed in 2003, but not given the real recipe of what is schizophrenia. There was no doctor that was able to explain to me what is schizophrenia. That I had to find out myself, more or less, through studies and through a particular channel of destiny.org and ecraft.com. So, New Year's of 2011-12, I started my process of recovery, you might say. I realized that, okay, I've driven myself to almost to death with drugs and habits that are unhealthy, alcohol and so on. So I sort of landed in psychiatric hospital in January 2012 and started to agree with the doctors that, okay, now is my chance to save my ass. I must save my life because it is driven too far and beyond. And at that point I realized that, okay, I need my medication. I need my medication to have a balance, to have a bridge. That's the word, the bridging. To have a bridge in my life instead of going into addictions of various kinds and a life that is just filled with sabotage and abuse. So it was in 2012 January I also started the Walking My Destiny I process because I wanted to do something with my life, because I realized that what Destiny I process was talking about, what the destiny message of oneness and equality was really hitting a nerve with me, you might say. To realize that we are more than just a mind unit, that we let enslave our existence as of today. We are more than just a mind consciousness system. We are more than war and suffering and death and capitalism. We are beyond that. We are capable of doing better. We are capable of being better versions of ourselves in this world, with nature, with animals, with each other, with all human beings on earth. We are capable of doing so endlessly much better than what we are looking at today. that is some of the quantum understanding that I would grasp and take to myself as I learned about destiny. And I would study about the history of destiny online. That we can become something better by starting with the self. We can become better versions of ourselves and become servants of life, literally. So, this was January, February 2012, 6 years ago now, and I started to realize that I need my medication as a bridge of me to support me with my schizophrenic mind. And you know, the schizophrenic mind is very much chaotic, you could say. It's a war against self. It's like you project out this unit of yourself, of a new mind unit, a new separate mind unit that you sort of hate, because you are programmed to hate it from the personality construct. From the personality construct, you are programmed from one unit of mind and personality to another unit of mind and personality to hate the other, which is all self. It is really weird. I mean, it's like I project out a piece of me that I say, this is a bad memory, this is something stupid or sorry or miserable or dumb or blah, I don't like this. Failing to see that it's all me. It is all myself. Just like Neo in Matrix explains to us. The movie Matrix, in the very first Matrix movie, yeah. The system is ourself. We are the system. And if I judge something about the system, I judge something about myself. As a being, as a persona, as a human being. We are all one and equal as life. So for me to start my January, February with walking, to sort out my thoughts, to really start to learn about what is schizophrenia, what is this schizophrenia that I'm carrying with me that is so scary, make me so cold, make me so trembling and paranoid and scared and anxiety. So I would start with my medication. I would start with jogging. I would start with swimming, with massaging my feet every night. I would start to forgive myself in words to myself, spoken words to myself. I would start to write and map out my mind, what the details are in my mind. I would start to write it out on paper with pen, on document with keyboard. And with this mapping and caring for my physical and taking my medications as a bridge and learning to understand my mind, understand myself and my purpose as such. Because the diagnosis of schizophrenia is a severe diagnosis. It is a war on self. And that is not nice, no matter how you turn it. So most people with schizophrenia will need some medication in their life at some point to literally just quiet the mind a little bit, because it's so noisy, it is so much friction, there's so much disturbance from the internal war and separation and emotional commotion, you might say. The friction within is so vast, and so most people with schizophrenia will need for some time, perhaps medication. I know that I need it for quite some time yet to come. because that is me, and that is a relationship that I have with me and my and people around me. Support people, my parents, people around me that who care for me, who I care for them, and where I agree with my doctor to take medication. And on basis of that, I have been able to take back my driver license. I'm able to drive a car. I'm able to have a work in the Campbell village where I live. I'm able to travel to South Africa and stay away for 2 weeks. And now I've been allowed by my doctor to set the medication myself, or do it to not have to go to him to have the shot being set in my buttocks by him. I can do it on my own. So there's progress, and there is movement, and there is initiative, and a movement that happens since I started walking my destiny process by forgiving myself, by erasing all the conspiracies of mind, deleting, setting free all the conspiracies, the thoughts that were so disturbing and so secretive and bad and negative and wrong and sick, and all those thoughts, all those ideas and conspiracies. I have been working now for 6 years straight to set free, to say that was all me. I embrace all of that as me. I forgive all of that as myself, as I forgive myself. And by forgiving all the conspiracies, all the energy addictions, polarities within, I then set myself free and say, okay, I can live with it. This is who I am now. I can work with this, and now make videos, explain to other people with schizophrenia, with other similar illnesses, how it's possible, to stand up from mental illness. How it's possible to empower from having been a suffering schizophrenic. Because I am living example that such is possible. And it is a what shall I say? It's not done overnight, obviously. It is a time-taking process. Every breath, next breath, every day, new life. It's who we are within, what we do, that makes us to who we are, eventually. Obviously. So, for me now to find more the nature of me, the basis of who I am, to start living my life without fearing that I should go to war against myself. I can start live my life without fearing to make traps for myself. Mind traps. And, just make lots of problems to myself and judgments that all point back at myself, no matter how you twist and turn it. And realizing the unique gift within that we are all equal and one. And that to be able to live that equal and one in practical, movable terms on earth, a process of self-forgiveness is needed. So this is part of how I was able to stabilize by using my bridge support with my doctor, my parents, my team around me to support me and back me up, nurses and psychiatrists and doctors, and ordinary people who I happen to know, who have supported me and stood by my side, who have been running with me, been swimming with me, been walking with me, been talking to me, sorting out my mind, cross-checking, and standing up from schizophrenia to life. And I am one person who is doing this. Breath by breath, day by day, step by step. Self-forgiveness is a unique tool that I've used and I still use every day to take away emotional friction and surges and such occurrences of energy addictions, you might say. And to realize myself and to empower myself and to become response able, to have a work in the Campbell village, to feel fulfilled with my work, to rest after dinner and say, I worked today, I've eaten today, I've done my dishes, I've done the task, whatever I had to do, and to feel fulfilled and to feel appreciated. I know that there's a big task ahead, we have lots of work to do. I mean, there is obviously lots for human beings to learn to, what shall I say, work on in this world. There are so many issues in this world that still needs addressing, but yes, we are walking on a waking path, gradually, breath by breath, step by step, day by day, more awareness and consideration of that it starts with self, and that healing comes from within the self, as life, as physicality, as substance, as sound. And